Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. India on Saturday evacuated 219 people as part of its mission to bring Indians from war-hit Ukraine. The flight took off from neighboring Romania as the Ukrainian airspace has been closed for civil aircraft operations, and it landed in Mumbai at 7:50 p.m. Welcome back to the motherland, that's what Union Minister Piyush Goyal tweeted, who was in Mumbai to welcome the returning students. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who said that he is personally monitoring the evacuation efforts, also tweeted saying that this is the first step in the evacuation mission titled Operation Ganga.
Another flight will be coming into Delhi shortly by the morning, and this process will continue. I must thank the Air India crew and the entire Air India team. And that is what the true spirit of nationalism is. यही भारत की ताकत है, और इसी ताकत को हमको उन सब बच्चों को देना है जो अभी वहाँ पे है। पर आप सबका तहे दिल से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की तरफ से बहुत बहुत स्वागत। आप सब सुरक्षित हैं, हम उसके लिए भगवान से धन्यवाद करते हैं, और यहाँ भी आपकी सब सुविधाओं के इंतजाम किया गया है। आपको किसी प्रकार का कोई कष्ट नहीं होगा। वेलकम बैक टू द मदरलैंड।
And NDTV's Sohit Mishra caught up with Minister Piyush Goyal and some of the students who arrived on that Operation Ganga flight in Mumbai.
Joining me right now is Union Minister Piyush Goyal. Sir, एक बड़ी चुनौती थी इन छात्रों को, इन लोगों को भारत लाने की। आप अंदर भी गए थे, किस तरह के हालात थे, आपने क्या कुछ बातचीत की?
मैं समझता हूँ बच्चों का उत्साह देख के भारत के युवा युवतियों के ऊपर गर्व होता है। बच्चे एकदम कॉन्फिडेंट थे, बहुत संतुष्ट थे जिस प्रकार से एम्बेसी ऑफिशियल्स ने उनकी देखरेख की, जिस प्रकार से उनको एयरपोर्ट लाया गया। एयर इंडिया के ऑफिशियल्स ने यहाँ पे इमिग्रेशन, एयरपोर्ट के ऑफिशियल, सिक्योरिटी, सब ने जिस प्रकार से उनकी देखरेख की है, मैं समझता हूँ पूरा देश आज कृतज्ञ है कि पूरी टीम एफर्ट, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी पहले मौके से, पहले दिन से 24 घंटे चिंता में थे कि सभी भारत के नागरिक सुरक्षित पहुंचे वापस, और लगातार वो इस पूरे प्रोसेस को मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। विदेश मंत्री ने सबके साथ संपर्क साधा है और पूरी अरेंजमेंट्स किए कि जितना जल्दी हो सके हमारे बच्चों को सुरक्षित लाया जाए।
और भी बच्चों के लिए सर आगे भी क्या इसी तरह से हवाई जहाज आते जाएंगे पीयूष सर?
हाँ, हम वी आर कमिटेड टू ब्रिंग ऑल इंडियन नेशनल्स बैक होम टू इंडिया।
मुंबई से कैमरा पर्सन राजेंद्र दयालकर के साथ सोहित मिश्रा, NDTV। What was the situation over there?
I'm coming from Chernivtsi, and in the Chernivtsi it's in the west region and it's quite safe there. And we were the first batch to be evacuated. And all my friends will be evacuated soon.
Are your friends still over here? What is happening over there?
They are in the those who are in the east region, they are like in the bomber shelters. So I'm quite very sorry.
कहाँ पर फंसे हुए थे सर? आप कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, अगर उसके बारे में बताएं।
मैं चर्निवित्सी से आ रहा हूँ। यूक्रेन में कॉर्नर में वेस्ट में है ये सिटी।
किस तरह के हालात थे वहाँ पर, किस तरह की परेशानियाँ हो रही थी?
चर्निवित्स, वहाँ के हालत बहुत खराब चल रहे हैं एक्चुअली अभी।
सर, एम्बेसी ने कहा था कि हम स्टूडेंट्स को, इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स को बाहर निकालने वाले हैं। सो उन्होंने हमें बहुत हेल्प की, एम्बेसी वालों ने और इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने वहाँ से बाहर निकालने में, और हमें कुछ ही घंटों में इवैक्यूएट वहाँ से कर दिया। तो इसलिए हम यहाँ पे सेफ आ गए।
आप क्या पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, तो आपका नाम पहले बता दीजिएगा।
मेरा नाम आर्या चौहान है और मैं MBBS कर रही हूँ, फर्स्ट ईयर में हूँ मैं।
अब आगे क्या करेंगे, किस तरह से पढ़ाई होगी, क्या होगी, परिवार वालों का क्या कहना है?
अभी तो थोड़े दिन ऑनलाइन ही एजुकेशन होगी, और उसके बाद सिचुएशन देख के फिर पता चलेगा कैसे होगा।
Joining us a few students who have returned back to India from Ukraine in the first flight that has reached the Mumbai airport. First of all, welcome back to India. And where are you guys coming from? What were you pursuing, and what was the condition over there?
We are coming from Chernivtsi in Ukraine. It lies in the extreme west of the country. So we were comparatively very safe, and we were very close to the Romanian border. So we were evacuated first as a result. Then we traveled to Bucharest, and we arrived in Mumbai just now.
Okay. What did all of your friends who were they able to come back, or what is happening right now?
Yes. They will come back after 1 or 2 days because they now stuck in that city. They are waiting to embassy, embassy called them. So.
Okay. So what is happening right now over there? What is the situation over there? What are they saying? And is there a rush at the embassy? What is happening exactly?
There is panic situation because of in various cities, Russia blasting bomb and everything, and also Russian troops are there. So there is panic situation.
Even your parents will be worried. So what is happening right now over here? If we talk about
they are worried also now. So they are calling and everything.
Okay. So how do you feel since you're back in Mumbai? What do you feel? How do you feel right now?
Yeah. Thank you to Embassy of India and thanks to everyone. They support us.
What's your name?
Avishkar.
And your friend's name?
Himanshu.
Okay. So Avishkar and Himanshu are back in India. They are happy, but their friends are still over there, and they are expecting that they will be back soon in Mumbai. In Mumbai with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
Now, government efforts are on to safely evacuate Indians stranded in Ukraine. Indians are being evacuated from neighboring countries like Romania and Hungary. A batch of Indian students, in fact, have reached Budapest in Hungary and are happy with the Indian embassy's efforts. Jessel Shergill spoke with some of them.
Hi, so we're here right now with some students, some Indian students who just come here from Ukraine to the Budapest International Airport. So what was the situation in Ukraine like when you left?
In Ukraine, the situation is, in Kyiv, we can say the situation is a little bit panic, and some areas like the Kharkiv and the Chernobyl city is very panic area. And I study in Ujjot National University, and the area is very in safe zone, and the Indian embassy helped us a very lot to take care of us in this panic situation, and we thank a lot to the Indian embassy and the president of Mr. Sanjay Sharma, who guide us to take us from the very this panic moment situation.
It was very nice. It's because of Indian embassy we are here. I'm really thanking Indian embassy and Mr. Sanjay Sharma.
So that's all from the students from Ukraine who are here in Budapest, and they're waiting to catch the flight back to India.
Meanwhile, on the ground in Ukraine, the situation remains tense and uncertain. A high-rise apartment block was hit by a missile overnight in Kiev as fighting raged between Russian attackers and Ukrainian forces. Ukrainian health minister has said that at least 198 civilians, including 3 children, have been killed in Russian attacks so far. Jyoti Air reports from the residential building that was hit by a Russian missile.
So this morning, early on Saturday, a missile hit central Kiev, more specifically a residential building in central Kiev, and that's what you can see the rubble behind me. I'm gonna just take you in a little bit closer. So let's just take a view of the building itself. You can see here the damage, and then up there to the apartments. We can see the firefighters are up there right now. But heavy damage right here. It looks like to about, I'd say, 7 or 8 apartments there, but there's damage also to the apartments above, below. We can see, curtains, we can see a wall. This is life. We can see life and just the destruction of life. So this is what it looks on the ground. Just, there's just rubble everywhere. And so we can see at the bottom here, there's also businesses that have been damaged, and then on top the residential complex. So let's just go in a little bit closer. Whoa. So I don't know if I should be getting a little bit closer. Just a few minutes ago, something just fell from the top. Also, they've told me sort of to stay back from here as they go inside. So I'm just gonna take you in just really quickly so you can just sort of see from this perspective. Like, this is what we see on the ground, everyday life things, a child's ball here on the ground. And then from here we can see the strike where it hit and the damage it's caused there. So at this point, what we're seeing here is there's military guarding the area, and we've got fire trucks, ambulances right now, and also civilians that have armed themselves. This is the first I'm seeing of it here right now in central Kiev. So this is the scene on the ground right now. I am seeing more military presence in the area as we've received reports that Kiev could see more of this tonight. I'm Jyoti here in Kiev for NDTV.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with Prime Minister Modi about the conflict. The PMO, in a statement, said that the Prime Minister expressed deep anguish over the loss of lives. The Prime Minister called for immediate end to violence and return to dialogue. He expressed willingness to contribute towards peace efforts. The Prime Minister conveyed deep concern for safety of Indians in Ukraine and sought safe evacuation of Indian citizens. Now, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, tweeted that he had spoken to Prime Minister Modi seeking political support at the UN Security Council. This shortly after Russia praised India's decision to abstain from a vote at the United Nations. Vishnu Shom has more.
Now, India has abstained from a United States-sponsored UN Security Council resolution that hit out at Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. Explaining its decision, Delhi says that it has regretted the path of diplomacy being given up and that there must be a return to it. Street fighting has reportedly broken out with Russian forces in the capital Kiev, which was rocked with intense gunfire and explosions overnight. Now, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has pledged to not surrender and to continue fighting to defend his country. The Russian army has stated that it has taken control of the Ukrainian city of Melitopol and has targeted the country's military infrastructure. The US says that it will now sanction the Russian President Vladimir Putin and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Meta, the parent company of the social media giant Facebook, has barred Russian state media from running ads or monetizing on its platform. Meanwhile, internet connectivity in parts of the Ukraine has been badly affected, particularly in the south and eastern parts of the country. But what we can actually do at this stage is give you an idea of some of the areas where the fighting has been taking place, but also mark the areas from where Indian students can actually get out. Now, on this map, the areas which are marked in red are areas which Russia has controlled at least completely in 2014 when they took over Crimea in the south, and parts of Donbass backed by Russia. That also took place in 2014. But there has been fighting now in Crimea, in Donbass, in the Kiev area, the Chernobyl area. Let's have that up full frame. And some other areas as well, Gostomel, Kharkiv to the east, Odessa to the south, Mykolaiv to the south as well. So those areas have seen a great deal of fighting. But in terms of the border crossings, the areas where Indian students are now getting out, those are all marked in yellow to the west of Ukraine, near Lviv, which is on the west of Ukraine, on the border with Romania as well. So Poland and Romania are the main exit routes through which Indian students can get out. But getting to these border areas is a problem. Once they are there, it becomes a great deal easier because the External Affairs Ministry has got officials positioned over there, and they are helping facilitate their further travel to India after they cross the boundary into Poland or to Romania. Let's take a look now at some of the top stories, the top developments in terms of international reactions to this continuing crisis.
India is deeply disturbed by the recent turn of developments in Ukraine. We urge that all efforts are made for the immediate cessation of violence and hostility. It is a matter of regret that the path of diplomacy was given up. We must return to it. For all these reasons, India has chosen to abstain on this resolution.
Cette guerre durera et l'ensemble des crises qu'il y aura derrière auront des conséquences durables. Il nous faut donc nous y préparer avec beaucoup de détermination, avec aussi beaucoup de solidarité.
Кажу це максимально зараз відверто. Народ України вже заслужив і має право отримати членство в Європейському Союзі. Це і буде ключовим свідченням підтримки нашої країни.
Meanwhile, Russia has been stating, and they've said this again, that in fact it's Ukraine which is not allowing talks at this juncture, and thereby this entire conflict is being extended. Russia has also stated now that they have ruled out targeting residential areas.
Еще раз подчеркну, что огонь ведется только по объектам военной инфраструктуры Вооруженных сил Украины, исключая нанесение ущерба жилой и социальной инфраструктуре. Всего российскими вооруженными силами поражен 821 объект военной инфраструктуры Украины. Среди них 14 военных аэродромов, 19 пунктов управления и узлов связи.
Amid escalating tensions arising out of Russia's attack on Ukraine, which has led to a sharp spike in crude oil prices, government on Saturday assured that it is closely monitoring global energy markets and potential supply disruptions and is ready to take measures for ensuring supplies at stable prices. A statement by Petroleum Ministry said that India stands ready to take appropriate action for ensuring ongoing supplies at stable prices. It further said that the government is also ready to release oil from its strategic reserves to mitigate market volatility. Now, paving way for the foreign funds to participate in the much-awaited IPO of the Life Insurance Corporation of India, the Union Cabinet on Saturday okayed up to 20% foreign direct investment under automatic route in LIC. That's what sources have said. Official sources added that in the FDI policy, a special provision has been included to allow 20% foreign investment through automatic route. In some other news, there's been a blast in pole-bound Manipur. 2 people are dead and at least 5 are injured. The blast happened in Churachandpur district. Old mortar near the BSF center exploded. That's what police sources are saying, and that the blast is not related to insurgents. That's what police sources have said. Meanwhile, political clashes erupted in Tripura on Saturday between BJP and Congress supporters. Congress and BJP offices were vandalized in the state capital, Agartala. BJP MLA Sudeep Roy Burman recently had resigned and left BJP to join the Congress. He was allegedly attacked during these political clashes. Police sources have said that the situation is tense but under control. It's been 1 year since the ceasefire agreement between India and Pakistan, and with the guns falling silent, it's a huge relief for residents living near the line of control. Nazir Masoodi reports.
1 year of ceasefire agreement between India and Pakistan has brought peace along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. The guns have fallen silent, and for the first time in more than a decade, there have been 0 ceasefire violations along the LOC. People living near the front line say it has been a huge relief for them, even as they watch the horrific images of war in Ukraine.
जो ये फायरबंदी हुई है, हम इसकी बड़ी सराहना करते हैं और हमारे लोग जो बॉर्डर पर रहते थे वो बड़ी सुकून और चैन की जिंदगी जाते हैं। जंग एक लड़ाई जो है वो एक तबाही है, बर्बादी है। आप यूक्रेन और रशिया को देख लें, वहाँ पे किस तरह एक बर्बादी इस वक्त हो रही है। तो हम दोनों मुल्कों से रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि आज बहुत खुश हैं ये बॉर्डर के लोग कि हम अमन और चैन से हैं। दोनों मुल्कों की चाहिए चैन और अमन से रहना।
On the 25th of February last year, Directors General of Military Operations of India and Pakistan issued a joint statement announcing ceasefire in the interest of mutually beneficial peace on the borders. In their joint statement, both armies agreed that they will ensure a strict observance to all agreements, understandings and cease firing along the LOC and all other sectors from midnight of February 25th, 2021. The agreements came after a massive escalation on the LOC. More than 5,000 ceasefire violations by Pakistan were reported in 2020, causing deaths and destruction.
ये पहाड़ी जो बर्फ वाली पहाड़ियाँ हैं, ये हाजी पीर, दरा हाजी पीर इसको कहते हैं। तो ये हम बड़े खुश हैं। 1 साल हो गया हमें ये सीज फायर जो हुआ है पाकिस्तान और हिंदुस्तान गवर्नमेंट ने किया है। तो हम आज बड़े चैन और सुकून की जिंदगी बसर कर रहे हैं।
For younger trekkers like Norman, it's a dream to trek near the LOC in Uri without fear of shelling.
तो ये सीज फायर हुआ, इसकी वजह से हम पढ़ भी पा रहे हैं और ट्रैक भी कर पा रहे हैं, जैसे कि यहाँ है बा फरीद है, कांडी है, कोपरा पीक है, ग्वाशर है, तो हम इन जगह पे ट्रैक फ्रीली हमने ट्रैक किया.
It is for the first time in more than a decade, guns have completely fallen silent along the line of control, and no soldier or a civilian have died in cross-border firing. Amid war in Ukraine, India and Pakistan have completed 1 year of ceasefire and ensured peace along one of the most volatile borders. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
And that's a wrap on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.